Shalom. This morning I wanted to share with you a very interesting spiritual paradigm that appears in the third paragraph of the Shema Yisrael, the one that says, the Lord said to Moses, "Instruct the people of Israel that in every generation they shall put fringes on the corners of their garments." So what is the importance of these fringes on the garments? The main thing about them is that we should look at them, it says, and be reminded of all the commandments of God. And what is the practical import of that? So that we shouldn't be seduced by our hearts or led astray by our eyes. Okay, it doesn't sound like all that much fun, because mostly we like to be seduced by our hearts and led astray by our eyes. That's the fun of life, right? But the fact is that we can have much more fun if we do something a little bit different than that. And that is, if we take a step within and enjoy the treasures of the Spirit, we can get much more fulfillment and energy and intelligence and clarity in life than anything that can be offered by the objects of sense. So let me describe a little spiritual paradigm that will clarify this point. It's as if there are two magnets in life. There is the magnet of materialism and the magnet of the Spirit. One pulls in the outer direction, that is the magnet of materialism. One pulls in the inner direction, the magnet of the Spirit. Only we're much more influenced by the magnet of the material than the magnet of the Spirit most of the time. That is because we are positioned closer to that magnet than we are to the magnet of the Spirit. What's more, the magnet of materialism is, if you will, a smaller magnet, a less powerful magnet than the magnet of the Spirit. Yet because we position ourselves closely to it, it has much more influence over us most of the time. So what must we do in order to change this situation where we can actually come under the influence of the magnet of the Spirit more consistently, more powerfully, more enjoyably? It's necessary for us to take a conscious step or two in the direction of the magnet of the Spirit. How do we do that? The answer is very simple: by adopting a spiritual practice. In Judaism, the 613 commandments are a whole array of spiritual practices that we can adopt. Practices like Shabbat, Kashrut, Davening, Tzedakah, kindness to our fellow human being, justice in our relationships with others, and so on. Many, many different commandments, all of which are valuable. And if practiced on a consistent basis, can bring you a step closer to coming under the influence of the magnet of the Spirit. Now, what is the payoff for that? Well, I would say it's very, very simple. Energy, clarity, intelligence, a kind of balance in life that we cannot experience if we're under the sway of the magnet of materialism. Because being under the influence of materialism means going after material objects, the objects of sense, for one's fulfillment. Now, a material object does contain a fulfilling value. You have a good meal out, you have a good bottle of wine, you go to a beautiful vacation spot. These are all fulfilling in their way. But all of that pales in comparison to spiritual experience. What you can experience by going within, what you can experience by coming under the sway of the magnet of the Spirit. It sums it up quite nicely in this passage from Numbers, the third paragraph of the Shema, where it says, "Then you will remember and observe all of my mitzvot and be holy before your God." One attains to a state of holiness, and holiness is much more than just separation from the power of materialism, but rather being in a state of holiness, being in that state of non-attachment, gives one a sense of control, a sense of balance, a sense of wisdom, a sense of intelligence, a sense of fulfillment that cannot be substituted for by anything else in life. So here is wishing and urging everyone to give the Spirit a try. You all know what materialism is like. You all know that once you get that car or that piece of jewelry or whatever it is, it gives you some happiness, but the happiness is limited in time and in extent. It's not something that lasts permanently. Wisdom, intelligence, creativity that comes from within is a more permanent kind of happiness and fulfillment. And this is what the third paragraph of the Shema is hinting at when it says to be holy before your God. So hopefully this is a step that we can all take in the coming new year, and in which we will be gaining higher levels of happiness and fulfillment in everything that we do. And speaking of enjoyable experiences, fulfilling experiences of the Spirit, we have several activities going on here at Shaarey Zedek that I wanted to share with you, including the family service that will be held on Saturday, January 8th, beginning at 9:30 a.m. You're all invited to what has proven to be a most enjoyable presentation of the Shabbat service. We also have a Malava Malka, an accompanying of the bride. The end of Shabbat, celebrated with Dr. Justin Jaron Lewis on Saturday, January 8th at 6 p.m. These are most fulfilling, most wonderful, filled with singing and spirit and teaching of Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, whose 200th yahrzeit it is this year. And these have proven to be wonderful, wonderful activities. A new weekly educational series with Rabbi Pinsker titled The Talmud Sees It Differently begins this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. and will run until February 27th. Also, the Physicians Chavurah, facilitated by Rabbi Pinsker, will be held on Wednesday, January 12th at 7:45 p.m. If you can't make it to shul this Shabbat, we'd like to remind you that you can listen online at www.shaareyzedek.mb.ca from any computer in the world, including your own. Many funerals are also broadcasted at the family's request in the same way, so feel free to tune in to Shaarey Zedek if you can't make it here in person. And you can stay connected with us by visiting our website at www.shaareyzedek.mb.ca for the latest information about what's happening in your shul. And also you can find us on Facebook by clicking the link from our website or by visiting www.facebook.com/Shaarey Zedek Winnipeg. Our Facebook page now includes a tab with all of my weekly videos. So please, if you enjoy these and you've missed some in the past, or you want to review some, check it out. So here's wishing you a wonderful week and Shabbat Shalom.